Hello, welcome back. This is John from caveofprogramming.com, and in this tutorial we're going to look at mnemonics and accelerators. So I've got this application here, and I have a menu here, and we're going to add some mnemonics and accelerators to this menu for a start. So mnemonic is actually it's a key that you press together with the Alt key that invokes a component that's already visible. So if I want to get to the exit menu here, the exit menu item via a mnemonic, I've first got to invoke the file menu, because the file menu is visible, so I can use a mnemonic on that, and then I can use the mnemonic on the exit menu when that's visible. And mnemonics are kind of an accessibility feature, and are also used by many of us just as a keyboard shortcut. For expert users, there are also accelerators, and accelerators work certainly at least on menus, even if they're not visible. And you can set mnemonics on other controls besides menus, but accelerators I think are just for menus. So we're going to take a look at examples of both here. I'm going to start by making this file exit menu actually do something. So here I am in my main frame where I create the menu. I've got this create menu bar method here in the main frame, and I'm going to add a mnemonic to the file menu. So I'll say file menu dot set mnemonic, and there is a version that takes a char, but that's considered obsolete, so you should use the int version, and the int that you pass to it is a static constant from the key event class, and there are static constants representing all the keys on your keyboard. So I'll do Ctrl+Shift+O, and I will to add the import there. Doesn't seem to have worked. I want to add VKF, which is stands for virtual key F. I'm not sure why I can't add my key event. Oh, there we go, now it's working. So if I now run my application, you can see that the F of file menu is underlined, telling me that the mnemonic is Alt F. So if I hold down Alt now and press F, it opens the file menu, and I can actually scroll through that with the arrow keys. But let's also add a mnemonic on the exit menu item. So I can say exit item dot set mnemonic, and for exit the most traditional mnemonic is probably the X key. So let's add in key event dot virtual key X, and so if I run that now, I can do, if I do Alt X now, I'm hitting Alt X, it does nothing. But if I do Alt F, and then you can see the X of exit is underlined, and if I hit now Alt X, then it invokes my exit menu item. And let's actually make that work to make this more interesting. So exit item dot add action listener, new action listener, put the brackets in there, and then add the action performed method. And let's get rid of some of these extra lines that I don't need and put semicolon in, and then here I'll just do system.exit. So I always feel that there should be some more elegant way of exiting from swing programs, but as far as I know, this is the right way to do it. And later on we are probably going to look at adding confirmation for the exit here. So if I run that now, if I do Alt FX, then the application exits. You can also add mnemonics to like form items. So you can add, for example, let's take the OK button as an example. Search for J button here. So underneath where I create the OK button, I could do, in fact, what I'll do here, because this is a bit mixed up, I will delete the OK button line creation from here, and I'll put it up here where I'm creating the other controls just for consistency. And I can have a comment here saying set up mnemonics, I think that's spelled right, and I can say OK button dot set mnemonic, I think it is set mnemonic, and key event dot vk, and let's make it, I don't know, vko for OK. So let's add the import there, and if I run that, now you see the O is underlined of OK, and if I do Alt O, then it clicks OK for me, which is rather nice. I can now, for text fields and these other controls here, like for example, if I look at let's look at emp combo. So emp combo has no set mnemonic, and the reason for that is, for these other kinds of controls, you don't set the mnemonic on the control itself. You set it on an associated label, and you can see here that because otherwise you kind of might wonder, where's it going to underline the mnemonic, if this, because in a text field there's no text in here, the text is on this label. And in fact you set the mnemonic on the label. So the way that works is I can say, for example, name label dot set mnemonic, set displayed mnemonic, actually displayed mnemonic, there we go, and key event, and this is the name label, so let's make that vkn. And if I run that, you can see that it's underlined the N in the name, as you might expect. And now what I need to do is I need to say name label, and because we need to tell the label what it's actually a label for. So we can say set label for, and pass in the name field there. And if I now run this and I do Alt N, then it sets the focus in my name field, and I can do Alt O to submit that information. So one last thing for this tutorial, which is we're going to look at accelerators, which just apply to menus. So as far as I know, let's go back to the main frame again. And an accelerator is a key, like I don't know if there are any examples here in Eclipse. Yeah, so like Control W here is an accelerator, and you can invoke accelerators without the menu actually displaying. So let's add a accelerator Control X rather than Alt X to the exit menu item. And the way to do that is I say exit item dot set accelerator, and then that accepts a keystroke object. And I actually use a static method of the keystroke class called get key. Let's add the import there, and get keystroke. And the method that I want takes two parameters, and the first parameter is a key event. It's a virtual key code, vk underscore x is what I'll use in this case for the x key. And then you need a method of, a static constant of the action event class, rather strangely, and I want to use in this case the control mask constant. So you can see the accelerator, unlike the mnemonic, the mnemonic is made up of one key, the accelerator is made up of two keys, because the mnemonic is always Alt, but the accelerator you can choose your key, so I'm choosing control mask with the X key. And if I now run that, if I look at the menu, I'll use my mnemonic actually. You can see that it's not only is it underlined the X of exit, which is the mnemonic, but it's put Control X in here, which is the accelerator. Let's get rid of the menu, and now if I do Control X, it now quits my application. Control X, there we go. So accelerators are for expert users, and you can gradually learn the accelerators of an application and invoke them without actually even opening the menu. So that's enough for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we're going to look at option panes, and I'm going to show you how to add a confirmation here to this exit menu item. So join me again then, and until next time, happy programming.